So welcome everyone. It's Thursday, so do a gratitude practice today. This one's inspired by me trying to do some repairs around my home, and digging through that kitchen drawer, the everything drawer that has the random screws and little nails, and then the hammer somewhere, and the box cutter. And anyway, I was sort of piecing together this thing was sort of didn't have it in me to go and get out the whole toolbox and do all of that. So I was just kind of winging it, and it took a while and was a little bit frustrating. And then I just looked around the house and I thought, this entire structure that I live in is a kind of magical wonderland that for the most part works. There are light switches that I turn them on and light just shows up. There are faucets that I can turn on and I get hot water that comes out on demand. And anyway, so many different things that I know I take for granted. And it wasn't until I needed to actually get into making something work that wasn't working where it dawned on me that, oh my gosh, I'm surrounded by so much uh, like physical infrastructure that is just there for me. And for the most part, I only think about it when it doesn't work. So I thought today we'd do the practice. We've done this here before. I call it gratitude for the basics. And it's just a short meditation where we take a walk through different parts of our life and see if we can drop into this place of really feeling a sense of appreciation for how much it is there and basically works. So let's start by closing our eyes. And always, when we do these meditations, kind of drop into the present moment, noticing how mind is probably full of to-do lists and other things that we're anticipating are coming our way this afternoon, as well as things that have already happened this morning. And so when we can notice that the mind does this time travel, we're left with just the present moment, the simplicity of just sitting quietly, just bearing witness to the body, breathing, sensing, and of course, always thinking. Brain is always creating stories. And it's not a bad thing. It's just nice to notice that that's happening and maybe get a little bit of space. And we'll start off in our gratitude journey here of looking at safety. It doesn't take much these days to get into the news cycle, to realize that there are many parts of the planet and there are many humans who are lacking this basic need, this need for safety. The fact that we can take the time to do what we're doing now. No one's dropping bombs on us. No one's inflicting violence on us in this moment. And for the most part, a certain degree of safety is a something we take for granted, something we rely on. So just taking a moment to appreciate this, appreciating safety in this moment. When we practice gratitude in this way, the goal is to really amplify the sensory experience of noticing where in the body do you feel this appreciation or this insight that, oh yeah, I'm safe, and for the most part, I'm safe throughout most of my days. And just notice where in the body that gratitude lives. And then next, moving on to what I call the aspect of a functioning society. Again, for the most part, I can walk out onto the street and I can go wherever I want. There's some sense of order. There are lights and crosswalks, and for the most part, people adhere to those rules that we've all agreed upon to be able to stay safe. We can walk, we can drive cars, and for the most part, we live in a society that functions. And again, it's very easy to take this for granted. Some basic semblance of law and order. There's fire departments. There's a 911 number that I can call if need be. Ambulances. Again, it doesn't take much to imagine that not being there and how dramatically different our day-to-day experience would be. And related to that is physical infrastructure. So just think roads. We have paved roads, and yeah, some of them have potholes in them, but given that, there's varying degrees of the quality of roads, and for the most part, we're able to drive where we need to get to, and there's traffic lights that keep safe and some sense of order. When the rains come, the water flows into sewage, or rather into sort of runoff pipes, and then there's the whole sewage system. All of this infrastructure is just there for us all the time. So you've done any traveling and gone to places where you actually can't drink the water because it's not safe, or there aren't paved roads and they're filled with lots of holes. And yeah, it doesn't take much to realize that our lives would be dramatically altered if we didn't have this basic infrastructure that we enjoy here. Next, just think communal spaces. Here in Northern California, we're really blessed with a lot of beautiful state parks and even other open spaces. And we can walk there, we can drive our cars, and there's usually a parking lot that you can leave your car in, and trails that are maintained, barbecue pits and benches. People can congregate, and playgrounds for kids to play in. All of this is just there. Most of us don't do anything on a daily basis to contribute to that infrastructure being there. And then shifting to gratitude for, I would call, access to food. We have this part of the world an abundance of different kinds of grocery stores. You can walk in and you just take a look around at all of the different types of foods that we can purchase Walk into the cereal aisle and you'll be amazed how many different kinds of cereal there are. Or in the fresh foods. And for the most part, the food is healthy, it's safe. Whatever processed foods or packaged foods that we purchase, we can, for the most part, rely on the fact that it's safe to eat. It has an expiration date on it. So even there's this whole infrastructure that exists to keep us safe, to give us access to an abundance of foods that meet our personal dietary preferences and requirements. And we haven't even started talking about restaurants, places where we can go out to eat and have people prepare us food that's safe and healthy. And also part of the infrastructure, I'm just thinking of waste, garbage, would include our sewage system in that, right? We go to the toilet and we flush and it just magically disappears. And the same with our garbage. We put our garbage cans out once a week. Again, there's this whole infrastructure and a whole team of people who are dedicated to processing that and taking it away. Just imagine what it would be like if that wasn't the case, how different our lives would be. And the last one on my list is convenience. We live in an incredibly convenient time with our technology and different apps that we can order food or we can call the phone company and figure out whatever solutions we need about our, the billing issue that came up, whatever it might be. We live in a time and place in which there's this abundance of convenience. And no, it doesn't always work. Sometimes we get frustrated about being on the phone or things not working the way we tell ourselves they should be working. But for the most part, our lives are filled with convenience, and it's all about, again, infrastructure and people doing things that help us live in a way that's generally pretty simple, pretty convenient. Just for a moment, just zooming out, imagine yourself hovering at a couple thousand feet above the town where you live or the area you live in, and just sort of look around, look at all the houses and the streets and imagine all the electrical wires and the pipes and all of these things that are underground. Think of all the people maintaining them, making sure that they work and that they're built to certain standards of safety and codes, and just appreciating all of this basic infrastructure is there for us to live lives that are safe and convenient for the most part. Take a deep breath in through the nose, long, slow exhale through the mouth. Hold the exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Another deep inhale through the nose, the mouth. Again, hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, open your eyes. Yeah, hope that resonated for you, and hope to see you tomorrow. I'll stick around for a few if you want to touch base. Bye, everyone. Take care.